Can you believe that opening night of the 2022-23 NBA season is coming up on Tuesday as the Golden State Warriors take on the Los Angeles Lakers to begin their defense of the NBA championship? Well, how many subscribers can we pick up until then? The other day, Dallas Mavericks today picked up 700 subscribers off one video. Can we do that with this one? Hit that red subscribe button, lock us in, because our coverage is about to ramp up here on Warriors today, and I cannot wait. All right, what's good? Welcome in. You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Here's what we have coming your way. So Steve Kerr announcing on Tuesday that Draymond Green is going to return to the Golden State Warriors later this week for the preseason finale and then also be on hand for the first regular season game against the Los Angeles Lakers. And, of course, we're going to continue to talk about the Draymond Green, Jordan Poole latest and something very interesting that Stephen A. Smith said. Draymond wants to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. Stay tuned for the entire show. You don't want to miss anything that we're cooking up. As for what Steve Kerr had to say about Draymond returning to the team, I thought it was pretty notable and pretty interesting, right? This is the biggest crisis we've ever had since I've been the coach here, Steve Kerr said. Really serious stuff. We're not perfect. Our team isn't perfect. Bob and I definitely made our share of mistakes over the years, but we're going to lean on the experience we have together over the last 9 years and trust that this is the best decision for our team. We have a lot of work to do, all of us, players, coaches, Bob, the front office, but we're committed to doing that work together and to making this a really successful season. And I think at the end of the day, the Dubs really handled this well. Obviously, it's not ideal for Jordan Poole and Draymond Green, two of the more important players on this roster, two of the more notable personalities on this roster, to get in a fight during practice prior to the season. But right away, I thought that they really nipped the bud. They sent Draymond Green away. He wanted to be away from the team, and of course a lot of that was probably driven by the organization. Jordan Poole continued to stay on board, and he was balling out in the NBA preseason, and really they gave themselves some time to really talk to everybody in the organization. Front office, the leaders on the team, the coaching staff, and they came up with a resolution. And I think that's a really smart way to handle this. Look, if you're running a business and something like this happens, obviously you want to get down to the bottom of it and figure out what the best course of action is, and sometimes you need time in order to do that, and the Warriors afforded themselves that time. So what do you think as we continue to progress forward on our show today? Should Draymond Green have been suspended? Because he's not being suspended, he is being fined. I want to hear from everybody in the comments section to see where you are on this particular issue. It's going to be our poll question for today, why for yes and for no. Next up, among the talking points between Draymond and Jordan Poole, according to reports, has not forgiven Draymond Green. And isn't it easy to see why? Put yourself in the shoes of Jordan Poole, right? If you were to get into a physical altercation at your workplace, you probably wouldn't forgive that coworker right away. You would have to iron some things out. You would have to have some discussions. I wouldn't trust Draymond Green. I would be ticked off at Draymond Green. Bro, you just punched me in the face. I understand that I pushed you, but it's not cool to really take it to that level. Now, this coming from the Locked On NBA podcast from Cyrus here. I've had sources tell me that behind the scenes, Jordan Poole has not forgiven Draymond Green. They haven't spoken. He's not happy. I don't know how you could be. It's a horrible look. The image of it is awful. It's borderline emasculating. Now, some big words there, certainly, but I'd be irked as well. If I got into a physical altercation with my boy Coop here and I punched him, I wouldn't expect him to want to talk to me, or to work with me, or to produce shows for me, or to collaborate on Golden State Warriors Today, to come through with the best Warriors content. We probably wouldn't be able to work together for a little while until cooler heads prevailed. So I see where Jordan Poole is coming from if, in fact, that is true, but I would find it surprising if they haven't spoken, because I would imagine that would be the next course of action after a couple of days away from one another to really figure things out to see how we can chase an NBA championship, because we know Draymond, partially why he did this, He just can't control his emotions sometimes because he cares so deeply about the product on the floor. I'm not excusing what he did. I just kind of see where both guys are coming from. As for Steve Kerr, the fight, the leak of the video, which I don't know how this video was leaked. I mean, TMZ must have given somebody the bag, and somebody within this Warriors organization was probably like, hey, let me take a video real quick. I'm going to send this to TMZ. TMZ, I got the video. How much can I get? But they're both issues organizationally wide, right? And that's what Steve Kerr talked about on this incident. I'm concerned about both, he said. They're both a problem. The incident was a problem. The leak was a problem. I don't rank these things. My job as a coach is to prepare us to play and make sure we can put the best team on the floor as possible. That job requires a ton of navigation, and it's very tricky. And it's made much trickier when there is a leak because everything is out in the open. But we are going to get through all of this, and we're going to be okay. They both concern me. And why I like where the Warriors are at right now, make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, by hitting that red subscribe button down below for videos all year round. When you have the most selfless superstar that the game has ever seen in Steph Curry, a guy like Klay Thompson, the leadership of Steve Kerr and Bob Myers, and let's say that Draymond Green is a leader, you can figure out this type of drama to work yourself through it and maybe make this team a little bit better. Look, they understand they have a golden opportunity at hand to run it back and win another NBA championship, which would put them, they're already in historical stratosphere, but even further as maybe a one-of-one franchise. Figure the drama out because a great opportunity is at hand for the Golden State Warriors to once again be successful. Don't let this derail that. As for maybe who the Warriors could keep moving forward, because we're going to talk about Draymond Green more so coming up around the corner and what his future may hold. You look at the numbers here. Obviously, Poole has more of an offensive impact. And the game, in terms of stylistically, the NBA is moving more so in an offensive direction. And Jordan Poole, no doubt the better offensive player. But you cannot quantify how important it is to have the leadership qualities of Draymond Green, the defensive tenacity, and the overall basketball intellect and basketball IQ of Draymond Green. Both extremely important to the Golden State Warriors. But who would you rather keep? Let's pivot forward 2 to 3 years from now. I'm going with the younger player. I'm going with the offensive guy. I think that you can figure out defense and find a way from a team component to really figure out how to be a better defensive team. You can't just find a walking bucket like Jordan Poole, a guy who can go off for a pool party, cannonball, belly flop, and go off for 35 points any given night. Like, that is special ability, and those guys don't grow on trees. You can find defenders out there and glue guys. I'm going with the younger player if I have to decide one of Jordan Poole or Draymond Green. What do you think, though? Embrace debate, sound off, join the conversation in the comment section. If you had to keep one, G for Draymond, P for Jordan Poole, let me know right now. As for Jordan Poole, is a contract extension coming? A Warriors insider expects that Jordan Poole is going to sign a contract extension with the Warriors within the next week. And this is coming from probably the best Warriors reporter out there, Anthony Slater of The Athletic. He said this: I do expect a contract extension to happen in the next week. Maybe Jordan is waiting for that to finally speak to us about the entire saga that has been this entire 10-day period for him. Now, he said this the other day, and I could see where Jordan Poole is coming from. He's like, yo, I don't want to affect my money. I don't want to affect my paycheck. I'm not going to speak about Draymond Green until I get this bag so that I know it doesn't dent my bank account. But for Jordan Poole, it's well-deserved. And will there be a pool party to celebrate? There should be. Among the team, if not, just among Jordan Poole, his homies, and his family. Because this guy and his growth really has been magnificent. You look at what he did in 2020, 2021, and prior to that, he was going back and forth between the NBA level as well as the G League level. 19 minutes per game, 12 points per game 2 years ago. With more run, the points per game went up, and with more opportunity, the field goal percentage from both the field and three-point range also went up, and then this guy was excellent in the playoffs. When Steph Curry was struggling during some moments, or when Klay Thompson was struggling to find twine, and when the offense grew a little bit stagnant, it was Jordan Poole the first couple of series who really just went bonkers and provided the Warriors with this scoring punch that they really, really needed desperately. And he cooled off a little bit toward the end, but 17 points per game, 50% shooting, 39% from three, ridiculous numbers from JP throughout the playoffs. So with this contract extension potentially looming, and the improvements that we've seen from Jordan Poole, how much would you pay him per year? Play the role of GM. Give me a dollar figure sign down in the comment section. Today's sponsor, BetUS, our great sportsbook partner here on Warriors Today and Chat Sports. With the NBA season here, a lot of NBA future bets that are on the market, a lot of NBA game bets as well, like, let's say, Warriors taking on the Lakers to kick off the NBA season. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code CHAT125 for a 125% deposit bonus. Do you like the Warriors on opening night to win by 6 or more points? If that's the case, you can lay those bets down. The over-under, that's tricky because it's the first game of the year, 227. I'd stay away from that. I think the Warriors win by 10 because I think the Lakers are not going to be that good of a team. All right, to round out the show, let's talk about this wild report from Stephen A. Smith. And it sounded as though it was a report because he let it be known that he kind of has some sources on this particular subject matter. Draymond Green. Does he want to play for the Los Angeles Lakers? According to Stephen A. Smith, he claims that Draymond wants to be a Laker if he leaves the Golden State Warriors. Here's what he had to say verbatim. Draymond Green is expecting this to be his last year in Golden State. Now, he want to be a Laker. He ain't going to tell nobody that, but I don't think I know. He'd prefer to be a Laker if he got to leave Golden State. Another Stephen A. Smith impersonation for you there. Let me know what you think of it, A, B, C, D, or F. In all seriousness, though, does Stephen A. Smith have inside knowledge about what Draymond wants to do? We know that he's very well plugged in with some of the more marquee players in the NBA. And for Draymond, I actually think the Lakers would be an ideal next stop if the Warriors don't want to pay him and if he wants to leave the Golden State Warriors. I think it'd make a lot of sense for the Lakers. They don't have that championship pedigree. They have lacked that the last couple of years, and that's everything that Draymond Green brings to the table. Now, from a roster construction starting five lineup perspective, how would it work with this current team? I think Anthony Davis would have to play more five. Draymond could play the four. Even such, if Draymond Green is on this team, I'm not sure that they're going to win that many more games. I just think he helps them from a defensive perspective and a guy who can just kind of orchestrate the offense a little bit. You have LeBron and Draymond both playing that point forward role. It's kind of intriguing to me a little bit. As for the Warriors' current lineup, they're the better basketball team. There's no question about that. The starting five is better. The star power is better. The bench, so much better. And Darvin Ham, the coach for the Lakers, unproven, whereas Steve Kerr, one of the GOATs now. As for what Draymond's done the last 4 years, can he continue to do this over the next couple of years? I think so. Can he maybe, knowing that he has the opportunity to make a little bit more money by playing better offensively, improve his points per game to about 10 and still average 7 rebounds per game, 7 assists, and play that extraordinary brand of defense? I think so. I think there's a better offensive player in there for Draymond Green, and maybe with the Lakers, he'd have more offensive opportunities to do just that. Prediction time now before we hop on out of here. Draymond's next team. GSW for the Warriors, LAL for the Lakers, O for a different team in the NBA. Let me know. I'm fascinated to see where you're at. And as always, appreciate all of you for watching Warriors Today.